Genuinely, this is my first time ever pogo sticking. And it appears that I'm about to be lost in a snowstorm. It's so fucking cold! I'm about to be breaking the world record for the longest distance ever traveled on a pogo stick. The goal in theory should be simple. All I have to do is break the current world record of 26 miles. However, because this is YouTube, I figured why not add a little Tucker Doss spice to it and start on top of the literal highest mountain in America. Again, what am I doing? On top of all that, I'm on a 12-hour timer. If I don't make it to the bottom of the mountain pass before the sun goes down, I'll be banished to the desert. This is the desert! I don't want to be here! With no choice but to finish the record in agony. Now, let's get into the video. Never let them know your next move. I'm here at the top of the world's highest mountain in America. At the end of the journey, I'll have made it over 27 miles, breaking the current world record of 26 miles. Let's get into it. I've also just never pogo sticked before. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's also worth noting that the current world record is 26 miles, held by somebody who I have no idea who it is. But if it was going to be somebody, it would probably be Tucker Budson, the only other Tucker on planet Earth who has a bigger following than I do. I don't care how cute he is. Oh my God, he's so cute, it's insane. I refuse to let a dog who just poops and eats food all day have nearly 20 times the subscribers as me. So please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me right now. Thank you. Genuinely, this is my first time ever pogo sticking. So the fact that I think that I can just come out here, the tallest mountain on Earth, and break a world record. All right, let's go. The decision to start my journey on top of the highest mountain in America was starting to set in. Sitting at nearly 15,000 feet, I had to ask myself, why here? Could you have not done this anywhere else? And to that, I simply say, no. This is definitely gonna be a lot harder than I thought it was. I wish I had any experience with this. This is gonna take a while. Is it snowing? It was at about 30 minutes in when I got my first sense of what was to come. Snow. I'm already exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be rough. Journey must continue. No matter how much I jumped, it was seeming impossible to stay on this pogo stick, but we don't give up. I'm a dog. Arr. It's out of air. That's not something we like to see only 3 miles into this journey. People are literally jumping 15 feet in the air on these things, doing flips, and here I am absolutely failing to even exist for more than 30 seconds on it. My hand's tired, exhausted. The pogo stick is also exhausted. I have to fill it up with air, I guess every like 3 miles. But some might say, hey, why choose a mountain pass to go down? Why do anything? I'm getting the vibe that I'm gonna end up being put into the desert. My biggest nightmare. But you know what? We go with it. We go with the flow, we go with life. What life tosses at us. And right now, it's pogo sticking down a huge mountain pass. I'm literally so far behind. A short pump later, and we were back. We got our bounce back, and it's time to continue. The clock was ticking down every second. You see, I'm still here on top of the mountain, and I need to get all the way down to this point at the bottom before sunset, or I would be banished to the desert. As I'm jumping, all I can think about is how many metaphors there are for this trip as a whole. The pogo stick going in and out, in, out, in, out. It's like life for my last year. I've just been constantly just in, out of my ass. It's time to break the habit, and getting to the end of this journey. Oh, see, look at I'm heating myself up. Editor Jonas, will you put some inspirational music over this next part? Life is a mountain, a journey as to which we must go through. A pogo stick that goes in and out of your hole, your asshole. You just gotta get through it. And that's what this journey's about. That's what life is about. I'm not doing this trip for me. No. I'm doing this for the children. Wait, hold on. After my motivational speech, or whatever we're calling that, I seem to be entering absolute sicko mode. No crashes, no breaks. I was a real-life superhero. To some extent, I mean, not really at all, but, you know, again, life put me here, and I was giving it right back. Look, it's a heart. Kind of displays my love for you guys. It was obvious that even on the top of the tallest mountain in America, I couldn't escape my crippling ADHD. Or my peak athleticism for that matter, but none of that could prepare me for what would happen next. Interesting little development here. The winds have picked up, and it appears that I'm about to be lost in a snowstorm. Terrible choice of a tire. Make the world record that much more difficult. Well, snowstorm. Nonetheless, I had to keep bouncing. Nothing was gonna get in the way of my title as the pogo stick world record champion. It's so fucking cold. I mean, a blizzard would definitely make it a little harder. I'm in the middle of a snowstorm. Woo! I feel my nips through the tip of my t-shirt. It's just my nipples way of reminding me, you've gotta stay hard. Not 10 minutes later, and it looks like I had the wind on my side after all. The snowstorm saw what I was doing, paid its respects, then dipped. The skies were clear as day and my body was literally being destroyed simultaneously. I've been at it for hours at this point. Not making much progress. You wanna know what gives me a little faith? At the bottom of that hill, you can see more or less where I have to make it before sunset. And if you look behind us, you can see that the sunset is not that far off. It's not giving me much faith for my punishment of being banished to finish the rest of this in the desert. But we gotta keep going. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yes, we keep going.
That was really good. She's very Russian, so you can tell by her enthusiasm that she's very excited. Right. So let's try that again with more enthusiasm, okay? Life goes on, right, Chris?
Yes.
We'll work on that, okay. I gotta go down this whole thing. Then there's a wee little road right there. It goes all the way down. And then there's that, and that goes all the way through there. And if I'm not gonna be banished to the desert, I have to do that in the next 3 hours. It was a battle, me versus the clock. Only a short 3 hours before I'd be banished to the desert, but somehow I managed to think taking a break to dance and a quick nap would be a good idea. All right, this is about how much time I have left until sundown. As you can tell, it's getting dramatically darker. My hands, obliterated. My knees, blown to smithereens. But that doesn't mean that we can't stop jumping. We always keep jumping. Here we go. Okay, back on the road again. I was out of my mind. I had entered another dimension of pogo sticking and I no longer felt anything. I had to keep going. Every little part of my body hurts. Bruising, fatigue. Yes. I'm so close to being off the top of this mountain. The bottom of the pass was coming closer and closer to my face. Every jump I was coming on my face, it was getting closer. And out of the ashes came Bouncy Boy 69, who had a past life as a jackhammer specialist. It's so out of air again. Everything on my body is bruised. I'm starting to get bleeding on my hands. And right now, the sun, I don't have a lot of it left. Please subscribe. The more miles I got, the more I started to go insane. I started to see my pogo stick as something I was bonded to, as if I was in the Avatar movie, you know, like with the hair. It didn't take long for my girlfriend Chris to notice my bonding after I found out its arms kind of looked like they wanted to give a little hug to me. I thought I could hide my relationship to it from her, but she sees right through me. You don't like that?
No.
Not seconds later, I was back on my dragon, but it was obvious that I was nowhere close to making it out before sunset. The heat of the desert was calling my name. The sun has gone behind the mountain, and you know what that means. I'm about to get to the other side of those rocks, and it just didn't happen. And I get banished to the desert, so I have to do this exact same thing and finish off the world record starting right now. The desert. And you know, while I was thinking it was gonna be much hotter here because it's quite literally the desert, it's actually 10 degrees colder than it was on top of the mountain somehow. I was only a few miles away from my goal at this point. I feel like it's 1 hop forward and 2 hops back. The wind is so gnarly, it's making this impossible. I have to remember what I said to myself on top of that mountain. I'm doing this for the children. I'm so close to beating the record, it's just fucking incredible. Tucker. What are other people your age doing right now? Certainly they aren't pogo sticking 27 miles through the desert, and what do they do? What do normal people do? What has my life come to? Then I remembered love was pushing me through. My newfound relationship with the pogo stick, while slightly unconventional, was pushing me through it all. I still don't know if it's good or bad, but we must continue. I've started to feel like even when I get off the pogo stick, my body feels like it's still jumping. As I get close to the end, I'm having to start to admire the fact that I've made it this far. Just a couple weeks ago, I had no idea that I'd be so emotionally attached to a pogo stick, yet alone breaking the record for the world's longest distance ever traveled on one. The sun was going down fast, and I felt as though I was living a real-life scene out of The Lion King. And on my final moments of this journey, I realized that I was the Lion King, just out here earning my crown of victory. The sun is going down, and I'm on my final mile, baby! We got this! This is what it's all about! All the in and out, up the mountain, down the mountain. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Final mile. No matter what life throws at me, I will come out on top. I always will, and we have no other choice because we are only given this one life. And you, my little lemon drops, you will succeed with me. We'll fight for our goals and the things we want in life because it's necessary. The final hops! Ah! Ouch, my whole body just hurts. It's an extreme pain, but that's it. Broke the record, another record of mine that's completely useless, and it's barely anything to brag about. But you know what, I want to shout out Chris. Thank you for waiting for me in the cold. Boop. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. The ins and outs of life. In, out, as we've talked about multiple times. Climb the mountain, climb down the mountain, pogo stick through life. Whatever you gotta do, but make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's what's most important. I love you, my little lemon drops. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Go on, like and subscribe before tipping off. Straight dripping like Tucker dust.